Hey, what's poppin', y'all? It's your boy Jay the Comedian. So somebody asked me to make a video about why I left the Jehovah's Witness organization. And that's what this is. That's what this is. So I guess to start off with, I didn't leave like just overnight. I kind of left in stages, you know? Like the entire time I was a Jehovah's Witness, I didn't enjoy it. I've said that before in videos. I didn't have fun with it. It wasn't an experience I was like, yo, this is great. At any point, like I just did not like it. But I did believe it. I did think that it was the true religion, and, you know, I was just going on from there. Now, I will say the first thing probably that was like a red flag to me was the fact that the image I had in my mind of God was constantly being destroyed by the Jehovah's Witnesses. Like, in my mind, Jehovah was like the most chill, like forgiving and just creature to ever exist. Like, super duper just, you know what I mean? Like, if it was one slice of pizza left and to like distribute it, God would like cut it in half, but he'd do it so perfectly that we'd both get exactly an equal amount of pizza. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is how in my mind Jehovah was. Just super duper fair. But I would hear stuff like, my parents once told me that if you believe in Jehovah, right? But one day you decide to leave, when the world ends, Jehovah's gonna kill you and your children. Your offspring that you have. I'm like, why would he kill your children? That don't seem fair to me. They're like, well, no, that's fair because you have a chance to save them, but the only way you can save them is if you bring them into the Jehovah's Witness organization. I'm like, but if they're babies, why would you kill babies? You definitely have the power to not do that. Like, that doesn't seem fair to me. So they started to kill the image of Jehovah that I had in my mind. You know what I mean? And then next after that, like, stuff just wasn't making sense, and I wasn't liking the answers I would get. Like, I remember reading in the Bible, they said Jesus had skin of bronze and hair of wool, you know? I'm like, man, he should probably look more like a brother in the, you know, in the way he's portrayed in all the literature. He just looks like a Jewish white man. But no, they didn't do him like that. They had it, he looks totally different, and I ask people all the time, and people were like, but look, does it matter? It's Jesus. It's not, okay, it may not be an accurate description of him, but does it matter? I'm like, wait a minute. Yes, it kind of does. Jehovah's Witnesses always put their stamp on how accurate they are. You know what I mean? So if they're not being accurate, then, yeah, that's kind of important. That's a little bit important. And I started to notice that a lot of the answers that I was getting from them with the questions that I did have, most of the time when I would ask a question, they would always say like, well, you know, you got to be careful of that apostate material. I'm like, no, these are questions I came up with all on my own. I ain't read no apostate material. Why every time I ask a question, I'm being warned against apostate material? Like, every single time. You know what it made me do? It made me read apostate material. You know what I mean? Which turned out to be just studying. You know what I'm saying? Because they, like, every time I asked a question, it was always like, every single time I'm like, yo, why is this like this? Like, this kind of don't make sense to me. And I would constantly get told, you must be looking at apostate material, or you must be reading some. I'm like, why? Because I have a question? That don't make sense to me, you know? And it's something that I never really told nobody, but in my head, it would just drive me crazy, right? So back in the day, there was this guy who believed the earth was fucking flat. He believed it. Grown-ass man believed that the earth was flat. And people was looking at him like he was crazy, right? He had all this material, he had these videos, and he had people saying that they believed it too, and he had things like asking why this can't be explained, like, but at no point was I told, hey, don't listen to him. He may get you to believe that the earth is flat too, you know? At no point. And I had to think about that. Like, ain't no scientists out here like, yo, if it's somebody who says the earth is flat, don't believe, you know, that's some apostate, you know, don't listen to him. Like, they don't care. They like, you can listen to him if you want to. And if you dumb enough to believe him, that's on you. Because there's certain things that if it's true, you don't need to hide the research on it. It's true. If it's something that's true, you don't need to like be all cloak and dagger about the shit. It's true. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, women bleed once a month. There's no research you can do that's going to prove otherwise. You know what I'm saying? It's just true. I don't care who comes to you and says what and whatever. Like, well, if you watch the BAM, this can happen and that can happen. And if you're scientific, look, the truth is the truth. Things happen in this world, and there's no way you can go around it or change it or anything. If God, Jehovah, really ruled the world, it would be easy to prove it. And if it was just the truth, and even if it was like every other religion and it's just not true, like, if it was like every other religion and it was unprovable, right? You wouldn't care. Like, Christians don't care if you can prove against it. Like, yo, you can just feel it. You can do all the research you want. You can read all the stuff you want. We're not going to be in your life trying to control what you look at and what you don't look at and how long you stay inside the system. Like, none of that. We're just going to give you what we have. Either you believe it or you don't believe it. You know what I mean? But you're not going to sit up and fight the truth. If something is true, it's usually just true and it's easy to, like, prove. And even if it's not easy to prove, you just go with it. You don't try to get people to disprove it, you know, unless you got something to hide. That's what I've come to learn. The only time people try to get something disproven is when there's something to hide. Whenever you're trying to hide something, it's because you have something to hide. You know what I'm saying? If you didn't commit a murder, and the police like, yo, we want to look at your knives. Look at my fucking knives. Run the DNA test. You're going to get maybe some, you know, chitlins and pig booty. You know what I'm saying? But you ain't going to get nobody human booty. It's a fact. I ain't murdered nobody. I ain't got nothing to worry about. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing with the Jehovah's Witness. If you got nothing to hide, let people do their research. Let these adults do their research. They don't need you to provide the research that they need. It's counterproductive. And it's a damn right outward lie. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, that's why I left. Because there was just so much stuff that was unprovable, and the questions that I was asking wasn't getting answered. And then I just started to learn one by one, like, things were just idiotic and crazy. The fact that Charles Taz Russell has a pyramid, a Masonic pyramid, right now, today, with a cross on it. And this is the man that started the Jehovah's Witnesses. A Masonic person started Jehovah's Witnesses. And you know, if he was a member of the governing body since he started, he would have been. That means he's anointed by Jehovah himself with all those mistakes. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty easy to, you know, figure out why I left. Question is, why haven't you left? Holla to Guala. Deuces.